On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah, man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on. A blessed and wonderful Wednesday evening to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please, like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, has declared another round of SOEs, this time in the parish of Clarendon, St. Ann, and Kingston Western. So before we get into that, make we remind you, the regular members of Chan Public living and traversing on the streets of Jamaica, that a public state of emergency is an extraordinary situation that poses a threat to safety and security of a country. A state of emergency, SOE, and some may call it a state of public emergency, SOPE. It's a period during which the government declares that a public emergency exists and it's empowered to enforce actions and policies not normally permitted in order to gain control of a particular situation. So these are some of the instances where a state of public emergency can be declared. A public emergency can arise from a result of occurrences to include, but not limited to, natural disasters, catastrophic fires, outbreaks and infections, drastic increase in crime and violence. Now, I'm pretty sure we know why the Prime Minister would have declared it in St. Ann, Clarendon and Kingston Western police divisions. Now, it is quite simple, an increase in crime and violence. When a SOE is called, the government grants the security forces temporary additional powers, which include powers of search of a person or a building without a warrant, power of search and arrest or detention up to 7 days without a warrant, power to curtail operating hours of a business. And as for the Jamaica Defense Force personnel, they are granted a power of search because normally soldiers are not permitted to search. Hence the reason why they always travel with a police officer. But anywhere a state of public emergency is declared, the soldiers can operate wholly and solely. Yeah, man, may I tell you. So for those who don't understand, that is it right there, so. Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, stated that his government's main priority is to use all lawful and constitutional measures to protect the life of innocent citizens. He states that organized gangs are the main source and cause of violence, leading to fear and terror in some communities. Now, the Commissioner of Police also weighed in on that. So Major General Anthony Anderson further explained that the Clarendon Police Division had the third highest murders across all police divisions with a total of 15 loss of life since the start of the year. The Commissioner of Police also added that although St. Ann Police Division reported 50% fewer loss of life in January of 2023 than that of the corresponding period of 2022, there was a 22% increase in loss of life as of February 11th. Commissioner Anderson also stated that the Kingston Western Police Division had the highest number of loss of life and knockings and clappings incident across all police divisions, with a total of 17 loss of life and 12 knockings and clappings incident recorded from January 1 to February 10. Now, this is a 31% increase in loss of life and a 20% increase in knockings and clappings when compared to the same period last year. So my peeps, these police divisions is on a roll, on a criminal rampage, and these criminal elements must be stopped by whatever means necessary. So once you're a law-abiding citizen of this noble country, Jamaica, land we love, trust me, you don't have nothing at all to worry about. Yeah, man. The only thing we have to worry about are the criminal elements them we are walk up and down all about. So in this morning's vlog, I spoke briefly about a knockings and clappings incident that took place in the Westgate Hills area of St. James, where a woman get a portion taken to her skin and pronounced. Now I'm giving you some updates right now as it relates to those knockings and clappings incident that I mentioned this morning, because all persons mentioned this morning has been positively identified now. So the Mount Salem police in St. James has identified a woman who was discovered with multiple corn-up wounds inside a motor car in the Westgate Hills area of the parish. All of this took place on Tuesday morning. She has since been identified as a 47-year-old craft vendor whose name is Aretha Clark. Residents living in the upscale community alerted the police after they discovered Clark's body inside the vehicle around 5 p.m. The police went on the scene and discovered that Clark had what appeared to be multiple gunshot wounds all over the upper body and head. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue. Clark is reportedly from the Hendon community in Norwood, St. James. So of course, you know, say on the Spot News Media, depend on one day, and will definitely update you in subsequent newscast. Now on your screen is the two that was taken out in a hail of bullets by criminal elements in Kendal, Manchester. Now the Manchester police have positively identified the couple. They have been identified as 29-year-old Damion Robinson. He's popularly known in the streets as Bleachers and is also from a Miketown address in the parish of Manchester. The female in the picture has since been identified as Shamoy Borah, age 22, of a Common Pen address in the parish of St. Elizabeth. Now, it was reported that sometime about 12:15 a.m., the two were traveling in a grey Toyota Mark X motor car. They were also in the company of a third person, an additional female, when they were attacked. They were definitely deemed to be the intended target, as the third person was not harmed. Now, officials believe that the double loss of life was a reprisal knockings and clappings. Many believe that the early morning knockings and clappings that resulted in the loss of life of Damion Robinson, otherwise known as Bleachers, and Shamoy Borah, otherwise known as Shammy, was a reprisal linked to the loss of life of this man presently on your screen. He has since been identified as Aldo Scott, otherwise known as Chukum. Chukum was on the police radar for a series of knockings and clappings to include murder and robbery. Chukum was taken out by armed criminal elements, his rival criminal elements, in a hail of bullets in an area of Manchester known as Old England. All of that took place on Monday night. The police continues to probe that knockings and clappings, trying to tie in everything to make it make sense. Yeah, man. Now, also in this morning's vlog, I made mention briefly about a fruit vendor that was taken out in a hail of bullets in Maypen, Clarendon. He has since been identified as this man presently on your screen, Keith McIntosh, otherwise known as Brady or Darlow, and some has called him Nikoy. He's from a Moko district in the parish of Clarendon. Police reports are that sometime about 8:30 p.m., McIntosh was at his stall when two men approached him and attempted to rob him. It is said that one of the men reportedly opened gunfire, hitting McIntosh before escaping. The police was summoned, and upon the arrival of the police, McIntosh was seen laying in a pool of red substance running from his body. He was assisted to the hospital, but unfortunately he was pronounced you know what. Now, sources close to On The Spot News Media has disclosed that Mr. McIntosh had just received a large sum of money on Tuesday via a partner draw. The source also stated that McIntosh's brother, who was also a fruit vendor, was taken out in a hail of bullets by criminal elements in Maypen, Clarendon last year. So clearly, my peeps, that was indeed a setup. So up to February 12, the parish of Clarendon had seen a 200% increase in murders, having recorded 15 loss of life when compared to 5 over the corresponding period last year. So the Clarendonians, the criminal elements from Clarendon, definitely a ton up the country badness. So right now, my peeps, be on edge. Yeah, man, because the criminal elements is out. Now, over there in the St. Catherine North Police Division, the body of this woman was found this morning partially decomposed and partially eaten by animals. The body is believed to be that of this woman presently on your screen. 56-year-old Angela Buchanan, also known as Imo, of a Union District address in Lower Idlesville, St. Catherine. It was reported that sometime about 4 in the afternoon, residents discovered the body of the woman and called the police. The police stated that upon their arrival, the body was observed with hands and stomach and parts of the face apparently eaten by animals. Miss Buchanan was reportedly missing to the Shady Grove police station last Thursday by her sister. It is not known what really could have caused the unfortunate passing of Miss Buchanan. The police in Shady Grove is investigating. So my deepest and most sincere condolences to the bereaved families. Now over there in the St. Catherine South Police Division, paying particular attention to Old Harbour. A man was taken out in an alleged shootout with police in the Old Harbour section of St. Catherine this morning. An illegal firearm was also seized following the incident by the police. The deceased man has not yet been identified, but information reaching On The Spot News Media is that sometime around 3:45 a.m. police responded to reports of cars being broken into along Lauriston Avenue in the community known as Ainsley Lodge. The police stated that whilst patrolling the area, the police accosted a man who brandished a firearm and opened gunfire. The lawmen then hastily took retreat and returned fire in the direction of the man. It is reported that the man was hit. He was reportedly rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital where he was pronounced you know what upon arrival. The police stated that one tank folio pistol with a magazine containing 4 live 9mm rounds was taken from him. The Independent Commission of Investigation has been informed of the incident and now making their probe. So my peeps, the knockings and clappings continue right across the length and breadth of Jamaica. So my peeps, just stay safe and as always, safe travel, on the gravel. Continue to look out on the corner here because the old dirty corner boy them always out there. Alerts, yeah man. So remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media, yeah man.